Hi guys, it's Andrew here from Eastonmade Woodsplitters today, and welcome back to the Eastonmade channel. I haven't been terribly active on YouTube the last couple weeks, and this is the reason for it. Right now, I have a little bit of time. The last last week of July, first week of August, first couple weeks of August, I have a little bit of time to relax a wee bit before show season starts. So I'm out here in my food plot. I had a video a year or two ago about cleaning this up. Lewis was back here with Dad's 7-ton Kubota. I think it's a 57, K57 Kubota, cleaning a lot of this up. I had a bad blow down in here. You can see there's still a couple of poppers kicking around here, but the poppers used to come out to right about here, and then right about here. This was only maybe 60 or 70 feet wide in here. So all of these trees got cleared out here, and everything along this side. So when we did that, there was still a lot of stumps in here. So the 57, little 57 that we had here, it worked really great. It is a smooth machine, wonderful machine, but there's a right tool for a job and there's a wrong tool for a job. It worked okay, but Dad got a big John Deere, a 20-ton John Deere, maybe about 2 or 3 months ago. He's building a subdivision up country here. Dad's playing around. He loves doing that kind of stuff. So he bought a big excavator for doing the subdivision, and I'll tell you, there's not even a comparison. If you can afford to buy that big machine like that, buy the big machine like that. You can get 10 times as much work done in a day with that big machine. You grab hold of a tree, a root, it just comes with you. You can peel it out in an awful hurry. That being said, there's still a lot of work to be done here. So I pulled a lot of the roots out with with Dad's big excavator there, and I went around with the skid steer. I had the skid steer here with the 96-inch grapple on. I have one at the shop that I play around with. It was working really good, but the guys need to load up for Boonville. Henry came and took the skid steer on me. He said, it's a lot easier for loading up machines. I'm going to load machines with the skid steer tomorrow. The next day, there's probably four loads, 5 loads going down to Boonville. We're bringing just about everything we got. We're bringing an Evo, we're bringing a 48C. Adam Barb is bringing a bucking table, so that'll be awesome. Check that out while you're there. We got a mini skid steer going, a grapple, all the machines, all the splitters, bundlers, the drum tumblers coming. It's going to be awesome. So we have a lot of gear going to Boonville, so they want to have the skid steer for loading trucks, and I don't blame them because it's a lot easier to do it. So what I've got out here with me now is our FG-60 Grapple. And I got something cool to show you guys. You guys that are waiting for equipment here, I got something to show you because this was done just in time for this. And you got to see this. Just so I'm not pulling your leg. That's my own name on that. I had to wait for that thing through production just the same as you guys do. So I've waited on that for probably about 8 or 9 weeks to get that done. It just so happened it was done. They finished it up this morning, and Henry brought it out there today, and I'm not even pulling your leg on that. It actually happened like that, so that's good news. So I've got our FG-60 Grapple on my tractor here. This is an L6060 60 horse Kubota tractor, compact tractor. It's got about a 2,000 pound lift capacity on it. I've been out here playing with this a little wee bit, and I wanted to show this to you. I got Justin to grab my camera, so I come out here and show this to you. That grapple on that tractor is awesome. It works amazing. I can't believe, full disclosure, this is my first afternoon running an FG-60 Grapple. I haven't run one on, I played a little bit with it at work, and did a little bit of screwing around. This is the first time I've actually had a chance to run one of these. That grapple weighs 800 pounds. You would think that's a lot on the front of that tractor. It's not. Like if I'm pulling, like I need it for doing, the reason I got him to bring it out here, because with the bucket for the tractor, it doesn't pick up these piles of sod all that great. You can see there's still like lots and lots of roots in here. This was all, like I said, this was all trees in here, so there's still lots of roots to bring up. I dug a couple holes here. I buried some stuff here. I buried some stuff over there. So I got to pick up all these rocks out of here. So I'll show you doing that. You can see there's still piles of sticks and clumps of sod, and that stuff's so hard to pick up with just a standard bucket. It's really, really difficult to do. If you've ever done it with a tractor, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this this grapple here works really nice. It's got a 7 or 8 inch spacing on the tines. They're long tines, so it tends to go into the material really, really well, and it's heavy duty, guys. Like this is all 1/2 inch AR 400. All these tines on the bottom, it's all 1/2 inch AR 400. It's really, really durable stuff. The side plates come off on it. They're 1 inch bolts that hold this stuff on. These are not, so you can actually just slip those on, take the loosen the bottom ones, take the top one out. But they're 1 inch bolts, guys, and we don't use little wee bolts on these. We use big ones because we know that guys are going to put these in and out with impacts. We want to make sure they're not going to strip on them. We want to make sure they're going to go in and out good. And we want to make sure this grapple lasts you too. So you can see everything on it. So hardened pin here, grease fitting. That pin's locked in. There's a hardened bushing in here, grease fitting. Same thing, grease fitting. Everything is really nice on. They've done it. They've tidied these up. The top grapples are 3/4 inch AR. That is heavy, heavy, heavy duty stuff, guys. Because I want to build this stuff so it lasts you. Like, I don't want to build stuff that's junk. I want to build you really good tools, really good equipment, and that's the goal here at Eastonmade, is build you something you can buy and buy once and run it and be really happy with it. And that's what we've done. Like, a lot of these grapples, they just run steel on bolts. It's okay, guys. Like, they run all right if you buy the cheap ones, but they're not near the quality or caliber of what these are. One other thing I found with this too, like I said, I was out here with the skids here in the big grapple, and it worked really good. But what works really nice on the back of this is actually when I go and I've been spreading the sod and stuff in the bush here, and then piling it up. So when I go and either dump a load in the bush or in the pile, I drop the land plane and go across, and it's kind of dual purpose. Saves me kind of double the time over doing those skids here. It doesn't take as big of a bite with this, but I think it helps out a lot. This is a Woods land plane. We actually have an Eastonmade land plane at the shop. It's a project we were working on. So if you're interested, we were working it last year. We got it mostly done. There are a few things we got to tinker on it yet. But if you're interested in maybe implements, let me know. Like, that's one thing that we've been kind of thinking about. Again, we're trying to expand our product lines, increase the capacity of the shop. We're trying to scale the business, guys. That's our main goal here anyways. So yeah, so that's what I got. I'm going to show you how this works. Like I said, it works really, really good. I'm really, really happy with the way it performs. So I'm going to show you doing a couple of chunks of sod there. I'm going to show you picking up some rocks with it because it works really nice for that. And then I have some trees over in here I can pick up. And I'll show you a little treat. I'll show you, when I had Dad's excavator here, I wasn't just going to do the food plot for myself. I had to do something for the kids, so I'll show you that at the end too. All right, I'll hop in the tractor. I'll show you how it works, guys. Well, guys, hopefully this works. I'm not quite sure how the audio is going to be in here in the cab of the tractor here, but hopefully it works out all right. So I've got the third function on this. You're going to need to have a third function regardless, like if you're going to run a grapple in the front of your tractor. So if you are looking at buying a grapple or buying a tractor, make sure you get the third function on the back. If you could run it, if you had auxiliaries on the back, you could run it there, but it's not going to be as handy as having the third function right on the joystick, because you're going to be running it all together on the joystick if you have the third function on. I think most tractors you can buy a third function kit for them if you happen to buy one without it, but I don't know for sure. So you can see, like, going into that doesn't seem to have too much of a struggle with doing that. It's digging a wee bit, but and then having the grapples on, you just grab right hold of that sod and bring it with you, which is really nice. And again, like I said, when I'm going around here, I'm able to drop the land plane behind me and smooth as much of this out as I can, because that's kind of the goal. I want to be able to make this as smooth as I can, so then when I go to seed it and roll it, I get as much seed to soil contact as I can. If I have a bunch of humps and bumps in it, when I go to roll it, I'm not going to be able to push the seed into the ground as well as if as if it wasn't flat. So you want to have it kind of as flat as you can. And by all means, guys, I'm not a farmer. I'm going to be the first guy to tell you that. I'm not a farmer. and I'm not an equipment operator. There's guys that are a lot better at that stuff than what I am. I am a mechanic. I'm probably more of a businessman than anything. I'm not good at a lot of that kind of stuff, but it's something I kind of enjoy doing. I don't like running equipment a whole lot. I get kind of bored of doing it, and I find it kind of monotonous. But doing a project like this is kind of fun because you get to see the reward of it. And you can see I'm going to drive over this big clumpy stuff here, and it's going to flatten a lot of it out for me. The hardest part is when I go to do it, you can see that this is really, really bumpy in here. So I want to try and get it, again, as flat as I can going through here. And then what I'll do is I'll probably try and till it, or maybe disc it. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but let me know. I've got a tiller, I've got a 6-foot tiller, and I've got a good set of disc harrows for the back of this thing. The disc harrow is probably going to be a little bit better just because there's still a lot of roots in here, there's still a lot of rocks in here, and it's just a matter of working the ground and getting all that stuff tidied up. It takes time to do that. It's one of those things that Rome isn't built in a day. You got to keep kind of working at it. See if I can't scoop some of this stuff up for you running across here. Like, I'm sure I'm going to lose some of the material out of the bottom of the bucket here. But that's alright. The big thing is I want to get rid of that big clumpy stuff if I can. And that's my main goal. I'm trying to get rid of the clumpy stuff and trying to get rid of the rocks. And again, guys, I am not the best operator in the world. By any means. Loosened up a wee bit there. Come back into it. There we go. But you can see if you just had a standard bucket for doing that, you wouldn't be able to pick that sod up like that. It would just roll and roll and roll, and you'd chase it around. And again, having the land plane dropped at the back just helps level all this up, stir it up, and get it flat. I'm going to dump this other bunch here, and then I'll show you this thing picking up some stones too. I got a couple of stones I want to try and pick up here. From where I dug out the holes, I buried a bunch of stumps, a bunch of stuff I had burnt. I had a couple big piles of brush here that I was burning, and I got most of it burned. But the stumps never burn terribly good. Doesn't seem to matter how much dirt you get out of the stumps. They never seem to burn all that well. They seem to always be fighting, trying to get them burnt down more. So eventually, I just ended up burying them. I had that big excavator here, and I decided I'm just going to go ahead and bury them and be done with it. And it obviously digs a hole in a hurry. But the problem you run into is when you dig a hole that deep, you get down below the topsoil and you get down to what's underneath it. And I actually have a lot of gravel back here, like a lot. Once you get a hole dug, there's a lot of gravel back here, which is nice. It's nice to have the gravel or know that it's here. Anyways, I don't really have much of a use for it myself, or not at this present time. And in Ontario, I actually think if you want to take gravel out of the ground, you'd have to have some sort of a pit license. So maybe somebody out there, if they have if they're into that business, in the gravel business, you can let me know if I would need that. So here's that one big rock here. And you can see I can give that a shake. Most of that other material falls out of there. I got that big rock in there now. Oh, there's another one in there. Let's see if I can get the other one. So the spacing is wide enough that a lot of the material will fall out, but it'll keep the bigger rocks in, which is kind of nice. You'd think with that wider spacing it'd be hard to keep the smaller stones in there, but it doesn't seem to be that bad to do it actually. There's another stone in there. I think I got a lot of them there. Maybe try and level some of this off with this thing. I get it. Again, I'm not I am not an operator by any stretch of the imagination. But if I can get this sort of flat, and a tractor I have found is definitely not the best tool for doing this job. You can get a skid steer or something that stays flat while you're doing this. It is way, way, way easier to do it. There, got a couple more big stones in there, you can see that. So it's kind of nice for that. And I find it kind of handy because when you're doing this, you're not digging out the material at the same time. You don't have the big load of whatever, the gravel or whatever you're trying to pick through. So it's kind of nice that you don't have that load on. It kind of sifts through as you're going. So you can kind of go across like what I'm doing here and pick up those stones and stuff pretty decently while you're leveling it too. So it's kind of nice that you can level this all out as you're going with it, which is kind of cool. I must have missed that one. Seems like I rolled over top. Oh, there you go. What was in there? Oh, there's another big stone. I'll grab him. There's a big one right there. Getting the tongue going. See how bony some of that stuff is going through here. Sometimes picking up a stone like that, it's easier said than done. I'll see if I can get him with a grapple here. No, missed him. Try and pick up that big lad there. Hopefully it doesn't roll away on me here. I think that one's in there now. That's probably the worst thing when you're running a tractor like this, trying to do a job like this, is that you can't see nothing. You can't see nothing that's out in front of you. That's the worst part. You're thinking about a grapple over a skid steer, and this is your primary purpose for it. It is so hard to see the front end of that attachment out there. So doing a job like this is incredibly difficult. So you don't know if the thing's out there rolling around or what it's doing. I think I'm just pushing him along there now. Oh, I might have got him there now. Yeah, I see him in there. That's one cool thing about the Kubotas here, is it actually has a throttle right on your joystick. So if you are doing a job like this, you can see how much I've got in there now, how many stones I've got in there. I can get rid of the rest of the material, the stuff that I don't want. I can shake it out, it shakes out pretty good. Like, you're not going to get all of the smaller rocks, you can get a lot of those bigger ones out and leave the material. And that's kind of what I find with a lot of, if you run a bunch of these material buckets or a bunch of different ones, that was the one thing I found with them, is that they're really difficult. There, I got that lot now. Another big one in there. Is that you can't, they're skeleton buckets, or it's supposed to let the material out through it, but it really doesn't do that good of a job of it because the spacing is too tight on it. Sure, it keeps a lot of the smaller stones in there, but you take a lot of the material off it. I don't necessarily want to get rid of a lot of the material, especially if you're working on, like if I were out there in the field right now, in the food plot trying to get this done. There, I got that next one. So you can see, like, just screwing around there, I've got a pile of those stones out of there. So it works really, really good. And you see, mostly all that's left in there is just stones. It's not a lot of the other material. So it's really, really nice. I'll drop that bucket down. You can maybe see what's left in there. Close those tines. So hopefully you can see out there. I think my camera's still in a good position. You can see, like, I got a lot of those big stones out there, and that's the nice thing about having it with the wide space, and you get most of the stones, you leave the material there. And again, 7-inch stone, it doesn't, might be 3 or 4 inches one way, but it might be 10 inches the other, right? So a lot of that stuff's going to stay in there, and you get rid of a lot of the material. See if I can grab a couple of small ones here. I'll see if I can grab them. And again, guys, I'm not a good off. I can run equipment, but I'll tell you, it isn't my strong suit. I am far better at talking to people and organizing that than I am at ever running a piece of equipment. I think I got one of them. I think I'm running out of room in my bucket here now. I mean, that bucket's full of rock, and I still don't seem to have too much trouble pushing this stuff, which is nice. I think I'm gonna have to come back and get them. I think the bucket's a little bit too full to grab that one there. But you can see it works really good for that. I'll bring us back into the bush here. I've got a tree back in here that I can move around for you and kind of show you that, how that works. I think there's one back there. And you can still move the tree with the side plates on it. The tines are long enough in front of it that you can still clamp down pretty good on it. If I can dump these out enough to really see what we picked up there for material. So you can see like a lot of that, or maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 big stones in there, and it works really good for that, guys. There wasn't a whole lot of material we took with it. Material's still pretty smooth over there. It's going to be hard for me to level that right out with the tractor. Like again, if you've ever run a tractor for leveling something like that, it doesn't stay flat like what a skid steer would, or a bulldozer, or something with a set of tracks on. When you have the 4 wheels, especially with the articulating front axle, it's always dipping and diving on you. So it's always really, really tricky to get that function right for you. So back in here, this is the part of the trail. Got one little tree back in here that I wanted to get. Maybe dig this guy out of here. So you can see if you have something like that, you can come right in here and dig that guy right out of there. You can see, I don't know if you can see that with the other camera, but that's got that right by the root, pulled it right out. So that's really, really nice. Hopefully this thing's got the beams that pull that tree around the other ones without knocking them down. And again, guys, this is with the side plates on, doing longer material like this. Let's see if I can clamp down on that. Yeah, it looks like I've got a hold of it good. And you see how strong the cylinders are on that. It really bites down on that tree really nice. Think it'll probably break it maybe? There we go. I'll come back in, I'll take another bite. I'll grab right hold of that tree. So you can see you get a lot of work done with this grapple, and it's reasonably priced too, guys. If you look at other grapples of this quality, they're a lot more expensive than this, and we're kind of proud of that. It's one of those things that we've worked a lot on to do lean manufacturing and try our hardest. I was actually listening to a podcast yesterday. I listen to audiobooks normally if I'm out here playing around on the machines. I'm normally listening to an audiobook. Or I really like Neil deGrasse Tyson too. He's another guy I really like. Star Talk. Have you ever watched Star Talk? I'm not a Patreon member, but I watch Star Talk anyway. Listen to it. But I was listening to a audiobook the other day, and it was talking about a GM plant in Fremont, California. And the GM plant in Fremont, California, all the employees had a really, really bad attitude. Talked to one guy that worked there, he had a really bad attitude. And he came back, they were going to close the plant down, and Toyota actually partnered with GM on this plant. So Toyota went in and their big focus on the plant was to change the culture of the plant and how it worked. And the big thing they said is the guy that is closest to the problem should be the one that fixes it. So if you are the guy on the assembly line putting the bolt in, there's a problem, there's a better way to do it, you should be the guy that's fixing it because you're the guy that knows the most about it. So that was the big thing, and then just change the culture around the building. And I found that big with my own business, because I've spent a lot of time focusing on the culture around Eastonmade and around the business specifically. Like I've tried to do as much as I can to make sure the guys are happy and they know what's going on and how things are working. And that's been the big part of it. Yeah, so you can see, guys, that grapple works awesome. Like, it really works great. I'm really happy with the way it performs. I'll grab one more scoop of this stuff for you guys. I got a lot of work I got to do out here and playing around. I wish I had my drone out here to show you kind of what's going on a little better than this. But I actually, if you watch the video going to Folger and going and delivering a load of wood to Mom, I crashed the drone really bad up there. Like, to the point where I have to send it out. I broke one of the arms right off it. And there's a place that repairs the DJI drones up here. So I had to send it out to there to get them to fix it. So I would have loved to be able to have a drone shots of this out here for you anyways. But yeah, so that's what I got, guys. Hopefully you heard the audio all right. I haven't ever done it in the tractor like this and done a video of this format, but yeah, you can see like that bunch of sawdust. It's so easy to pick that up and just move it and get all the sticks and everything in. I'm really happy with the way it turned out and the way it's working anyways. So yeah. See that saw, it all stays in there too. It's all clumped together. If you just try and grab that with a bucket, you're not going to grab. You're going to chase that stuff around and you're going to pull your hair out doing it. Alright, well, guys. Well, guys, even the camera got sick of me talking anyways. The camera shut off, battery died on me, but hopefully you liked the video, guys. Let me know. Give her a thumbs up. Like I said, that grapple works so good. If you're a landowner, if you're a hobbyist, if you're playing around, the grapple works awesome, guys, for whatever you're doing. If you're around your farm and cleaning up manure or anything like that, it's such a great attachment, and it's reasonably priced, and it's heavy duty. It's something that's going to last you. So anyways, guys, if you liked the video, give her a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down in the bottom. I will see you guys in Boonville. If you're going to Boonville, this is going to be posted. This is Tuesday. Today's Monday. Geez, I gained a day. So I think I'm going to post this either Tuesday or Wednesday. So it's going to be, Boonville's going to be coming up this coming weekend. Boonville, New York, the Woodsmen's Field Days. This is one of the best logging trade shows, firewood shows in the world. They put on an absolutely wonderful show in Boonville, New York. It's really good. They're a really good bunch to work with. Come on out, support it. I think we're actually, maybe knock on wood, we might actually have a nice weekend in Boonville this year. The last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, it has poured rain in Boonville. There's been nothing but mud. So hopefully this weekend it's looking good. So come on out, enjoy it. They have all sorts of things going on in the evening. They have all sorts of different activities and stuff through the day. Everybody, the who's who of firewood is going to be there. Every logging, chainsaw, piece of equipment, it's awesome, guys. It's well worth your time to come on out to the Woodsmen Field Days in Boonville, New York. It is an absolute blast. I hope to see you there. Thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. You ready, guys?
Yeah.
You ready? Okay. Let me get you on here. Let me put you on the front. Okay, go. That was the new four-wheeler track, guys.
Good.
Good? Like really good?
Yeah.
Like awesome?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
God.